Shit. Radio.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shit Radio, an unrefined podcast for the everyman. Brasky here, Liarz here, and the man from Japan, my original co-host, the man who brings the pain, and you'll never feel the same. I'm talking him up. It's E.T. Twatty, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Outstanding. Well, Liarz got on me earlier. He's like, oh, Brasky, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. I'm like, what? It's like, Axl Rose wrote a comic book. I'm like, okay, I could give two flying fucks, but you know who would? And would actually bring insight to this conversation? My dear friend E.T. So you boys have at it.
Welcome aboard, E.T. It's good to have you here. I haven't heard your voice in a while, so it's making me a little giddy inside. I'm liking it. You know
how do
what
I
I'm saying?
sound? Do I sound all
So-
nasally?
Well, you sound
I
like
guess
E.T. Yeah. So have you heard about this, E.T.? It's called Axl Rose. Sorry,
Hey,
go on.
wait a second. Was that an insult against me? A little easily because he knows I got like some form of super bug flu.
No,
again?
I have allergies and
I see how you are. You're back less than 30 seconds. You're already
Look,
kicking me square in
Brasky,
the
not
balls.
everything's about you, okay?
You grab- Ugh. Well, through my eyes, it is, mister.
All right.
Welcome back.
Okay,
You
all
boys get going.
Welcome back. It's called Axl Rose, Appetite for Destruction. It's a collaboration between Axl and a comic book company called Sumerian Comics. It's available for pre-order now. Yeah, it's takes place in a neon noir fever dream. It's part rock anthem, part cyberpunk prophecy. Axl built a world of rebellion. It's Axl like you've never seen him on the front lines on the battle for humanity's future. E.T., what is your take on this?
I didn't think it was real. You know, it's one of those things, you know, you're
Oh, it's
on
real.
Twitter or Reddit or something says, oh, look at this, Axl Rose, the comic book. I say, yeah, well, they've already been Axl Rose comics. They printed them back in the 80s. There was a whole series of rock and roll comics. There were unauthorized biographies of bands. There was, you know, all the big bands at the time. And they were actually collectible for a while. I have a few. They're really bad. They're just by amateurs. So a Guns N' Roses comic book is not like a novel idea, you know? Well, I just thought this was another some crazy, you know, my GNR and lunatic said, I'm gonna make a comic book about Axl fighting cyborgs. They claim to have his stamp of permission on.
Well, Axl is collaborating on the project, so it's everything's going to go through
Well,
him, right? So
That's what they're claiming, but that is a big claim.
Well, hold on a second, boys. You do realize that Axl Rose is like obsessed with kind of like this whole post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, there's a video game called Gundam. Do you guys know about
mean
that?
Gundam, the
No.
Japanese robots?
Thank you. All right, Gundam. That's why we have you on, ET. That's I'm gonna have you back on more. I don't give a shit what the
I know,
rap
it's
bastards
true.
say. You know what I mean. So Gundam, the Japanese robots, he's obsessed with that. That's why that's like how he like kind of spun Black Frog off his, publishing, and his media rights company was spun off into a name called Gundam. Gundam.
okay.
So like he has this obsession anyways about, being in post-apocalyptic robots. He lives in his own reality of sorts. So I could totally see him getting behind it and like saying that he wrote it. That's a little bit assertion here by the marketing team. He probably went in and went, "Hey, I like this, I like that. Make me look cool. Put it in this setting, and you boys tell me if you need any more responses
Can't
from
even
me."
imagine him allowing that. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the guy's a recluse. He barely leaves the house. He only goes out when Beta forces him to tour.
Not anymore. He's been going out to, like, F1 events and celebrity get-togethers, performing at random guest
Right, I'll
appearance
give you
on
that.
concerts. I
It's
mean,
out
he's
more than
been
he
getting
used to,
out a lot more. Maybe it's because he's in
but
his golden age.
he doesn't approve things. He's not into capitalizing on his image. Yeah, Guns N' Roses under the control of Fernando, they're whores. They have and will own the name to everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
they made toy
yeah,
trucks for
everything,
Christmas one year,
everything.
brother.
Can
Towel.
openers, aprons. I mean, it's ridiculous. So use his name. The only thing that comes to mind was that unfathomably expensive wristwatch designed. It was like 150 grand or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah,
a
that was
while
sometime
back,
in the
wasn't
last
it?
10. I mean, that had his name on it. That was Axl Rose. And I suppose you could count the little Funko dolls, the Funko things. Those don't exactly use their face. They all have the same stupid black-eyed face, you know. That
It's perfect segue because that's one thing I wanted to bring up. Missing from all of this is any mention of Guns N' Roses. It's Axl Rose's Appetite for Destruction. No mention of Guns N' Roses.
well,
So
that's not the case.
I've noticed this.
Like
I'm looking at it right
I've noticed
now,
this
just
recently.
like that.
and you know, if you're listening to this at home, go to. It's really easy to find the website. It's not Marion. A mock-up for the cover has the Guns N' Roses bullet logo on the spine. And it does say Guns N' now it says Axl Rose Appetite for Destruction, but then at the bottom it does say Guns N' Roses. So
Oh,
you know,
yeah, you're right. You're
that
right.
I
Oh,
just don't
gotcha.
know.
Gotcha.
Again,
Well,
I think, and this is here's my prediction, is that these people had some kind of maybe they were really lucky. Right place, right time. They had some kind of handshake deal with Fernando. And Axel maybe gave a nod of approval without really knowing what was going on. I think these guys have run with it and they have just basically concocted this themselves without Axel really knowing.
a few things I want to point out. One, Axl Rose did launch axlrose.com not too long ago, a few years ago.
Yes.
Number 2, we always forget, but maybe we don't forget, we just try not to. Axl Rose does own the Guns N' Roses name completely by himself. Slash and Duff only get to talk about, past cataloged music and anything new they do with Axl, which new is it's a term that's really hard to define. With Axl Rose right now, going out and starting to pour his name out the way he is on the random products as he has the last decade, it really is starting to head into a new direction of Axl becoming Gene
Okay, all
Simmons
right.
like. One thing I read on Bad Apple's forum, and I'm going to head over to. I'm actually asking you this question, ET, because I was reading Bad Apple's forum. That's where I saw the news break, and I got a good chuckle where there was talking about Axel's going to sign copies of this comic book, and you had a wonderful response. Can you please share with our
Oh,
audience what your response was, and
absolutely. Well, this is
go
this
over
is
whatever
a
point
it's a
you were trying to
Kickstarter
make?
like any other. You know, you can buy the book for $40. And you add more money and you get more ridiculous trinkets and posters and allegedly a little goofy figure of Axel as a cyborg, and it looks really. But the top tier level is $300, and it says Axel will sign the book, and it's limited to 500 copies. And I can't see any universe in which Axel signs 500 copies of a book. He doesn't sign stuff. He just doesn't do that. I mean, if there was a guarantee that he actually really will do it,
He did for
and
you.
$300 for his autograph would be a steal if it's a guarantee and it's authenticated. Yeah, I mean, he's a really hard autograph to get. A lot of autograph hunters know that. But with that, I mean, probably it could probably be an auto pen or a stamp or something. I mean, how do you trust these guys? They're a bunch of nobodies. That's what I'm wondering. These nobodies, they've never written or
And
released any real comic book. I went to the guy's site. All he has is like sample pages of Batman and Nightwing that never got published because he's not professional enough to get real work. And why would Axel go to them? Why would he? If Axel is like, you know what, I'm gonna have my own company. It's not that crazy. Keanu Reeves did it. Keanu Reeves had yeah,
he did.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Berserker,
but
right?
he had top talent. He put his name on it. He announced that it was his thing. He even went to Comic Cons and signed the books in person because Keanu Reeves is awesome. So
Yeah, yeah.
some,
Canadian
Very
too.
good. Yeah, some celebrities will do that. They're like, I want to make a comic book. I want to make a cartoon or whatever. The guy from My Chemical Romance makes his own comic books. But if Axel really wanted to do it himself, why would he go with so named amateurs? That's why I'm thinking they must have come to him.
They must have come to
Let
him.
me ask you this,
And
guys. The fact that Slash is such a big horror fan and loves horror movies and, has produced horror movies, and Axel loves comic books and Axel likes shows like Dexter. Don't you think this is a missed opportunity for those two to collaborate together, like on a non-music basis, to see if the collaboration's still there and maybe work on like even one or two pages of a comic book for Axel's comic book? Like, hey, Slash, what cool like horroristic things can you put in this comic book? Man, that's a cool image. What do you think? Worked on together, but that appears that didn't happen
You're
once
gonna
again.
default back to the last 30 years and just say Axel probably doesn't think of Slash that way. But what really surprises me is, his right hand man all these years, L. James, is allegedly a writer and also writes horror. And Bell James got his stuff published just because Axel's his friend. So if he wanted someone to write a comic book, why didn't he just ask Del James?
That's because Del James is busy with his new release of his new book coming up that he's going to be on the great Appetite for Distortion podcast with
Oh, really?
Brando
He's got a new
talking
book? I
about,
didn't know
sir.
that.
How do you not know that? And you're the biggest Del
I
James fan.
don't know. I mean, I'm ashamed. I'm a big Del James fan. I've always defended when people say this story sucks. I like his stuff. It's simple. It's not, Shakespeare. But I think he's good. He has a few gems in there, especially the one about wrestling.
Liars, do me a favor. Google Del James upcoming book release 2025 real quick, just so you can get some basis so you and ET can go back and forth a little bit. But I know this because I saw on the old Twitter feed that Mr. Brando announced that Del James is coming on to discuss his new release, his new book, which does that mean it's a new Guns N' Roses song coming out too? Because
Oh,
every boy, I'm eyeing a lot. But I'm
oh
sick,
my
folks.
God.
I'm sick. Give me
It's
credit.
it's a
Uh,
graphic novel.
it's a
Why
oh
graphic
is
boy.
novel called
Bell releasing a
Consensual
graphic
Violence.
novel and Axel releasing a competing graphic novel, and they're not working together and they're not working with the same people? That doesn't make any sense.
Why is it called consensual violence, and what does that mean? Does that mean prom violence? Did we just confirm prom violence is getting released?
It's about a female professional wrestler out for revenge after being assaulted by her
Okay.
trainer,
You
in a
know,
nutshell.
He's a big
The Chase and Rant
a big
story.
wrestling fan, and his
Yeah.
his best story is about pro wrestling. It was in the expanded edition of Language of Fear. You can find all of his stuff online if you look for it
Oof.
if you don't feel like paying for it. Just an FYI to listener.
Okay, ET. Let's not go down that road. You've already kind of mentioned it. So continue on talking about how Axel and Dell are releasing two graphic novels or comic books in the same time span, and the fact that we're looking at it just doesn't make sense to me. And the thing's called consensual violence, and it's about a pro wrestler. I mean,
Female
only in the
female pro
world of
wrestler.
Well, I'm sorry.
Female pro wrestler.
I don't judge wrestlers by being female or male. Liars. All right.
All right,
I'm not like you pig.
on the solicitations,
Toxic
uh,
masculine over here.
based on what we know so far about both of these, L's gonna his comic book's gonna be way better because it's about wrestling, which is something he likes. It's gonna have some kind of like horror element. This Axel thing looks awful. It looks so bad. The art is this horrible cartoony kind of faux Japanese manga looking poke.
I mean, I think it looks okay. I'll be straight up with you. I'm gonna buy Axl Rose Appetite for Destruction graphic novel.
How
I
much is that
100%
going to cost?
gonna buy. What's that?
How much is that going to cost you?
Probably
Dude, if
40
you're gonna
bucks.
get it, get the signed version. You're already gonna take the plunge.
No, I'm not spending
If you're
$300.
gonna
No.
I can't believe you're
I'll
spending
buy the graphic
$40.
novel. I'll buy the graphic novel. $40 for
I mean,
a
it's a hardcover.
hardcover
That's
graphic
that's
novel
nice.
is
It's
about
not a
right. So
floppy. It's not a paperback.
Does
I'll
it
check it
ever
out.
ship? Are we sure this company can even ship this stuff out, or is this going to become something that just sits there? You're like, oh,
Well, there's always the risk of when it's crowdfunded like that. It's kind of built in that you accept the risk. I've backed projects that took 3 years after they took my money.
Yeah.
But
well, wait a second. I didn't even realize this was
yeah,
crowdfunded.
yeah, you put the money up front.
So Axl Rose is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, has makes millions of dollars on tour each year, and put out a comic book just to put out a comic book. He needs to have it
Well, I'm
crowdfunded.
looking at it. I don't see. Maybe okay. Maybe it's more of a pre-order than a crowd because crowdfund is if we don't get this many orders, it doesn't happen. And I don't see anything like that.
I don't
Yeah.
think this
So,
is
but it is.
crowdfunded.
Okay, so let's
Yeah,
correct
it's
ourselves.
a pre-order.
All right. Well, Axel, I apologize. I was shaming you for something that you're clearly not guilty
Yeah. There's
of, sir. Apologies, but I do. Once again, I am sick as a dog.
okay.
So,
And here's
Axel,
what
please
also
give me credit for
I think we all know, and not to get into miser territory, but it seems like the last several years, Axel has been kind of sensitive about his appearance. He tries to be very controlling about the way he's portrayed or what pictures of him are on the internet. And like the Funko Pops, it was weird when they first came out. Flash and Duff were their modern day selves with their modern outfits and their modern tattoos. But Axel was like a 1990 version, wouldn't allow the modern look to be made into a figure. And then this in this book, he's clearly, it's like a 25-year-old Axel. He's got washboard abs. Weird. Nothing about this thing makes sense.
I I think I think Axel's just trying to work on his brand. Like that's all. I think he's trying to, I don't know, be relatable to a younger crowd.
so for the first time in 30 years, he's finally working on his brand.
Well, like you meant, like I was gonna. That's where I was going before. Was that you even mentioned that he put up what was it, axelrose.com, his website, right, a couple years ago. I think he's getting some advice that it needs to be done. I know that's what happened with Slash back in 2010. Is when he put out that covers, not the covers, but the record with all the different singers. His management went to him and, from what I understood, basically said, "Hey, you need to, get your image back out there. I mean, now you're just a washed up 80s rock star right now. Like get your name back out there as one of the greatest guitar players ever, And I think that's what he did. And he got out there and then the reunion happened and all that. But I think Axel is finally taking some of that advice and that it pays to get, like, both figuratively and literally, it pays to get popular or known with a younger
Yeah, and I
crowd.
suppose comic books aren't they were when I was a kid, which is basically vagina repellent. If you were into comic books in
Yeah,
the 80s and
I
90s, you were such a nerd. And I was. I was
you're a
my
nerd,
whole
yeah.
life was art and comic books. And it's really shifted. I mean, a lot of the comic book properties are some of the most popular in the world. That still doesn't translate. I mean, kids still don't really read comics. Very odd. I thought of another one.
Just find it odd
Uh
that Axel's 63 years old. Hold on. I find it odd that Axel's 63, almost 64 years old. And now he's doing his rebrand. Now he's getting out there in the mainstream after his voice is pretty much gone. And, his body's only going to hold out for so much
well,
longer. I mean,
maybe
I don't understand the
maybe
thought
Liars
process.
is right. Maybe he's onto something that somebody told him this was a good idea for his image brand. 'Cause now that I think about it, Keanu Reeves was really successful with his comic. And I remember Sylvester Stallone,
Very.
instead of going to like DC or Marvel, he put out his Expendables comic book as a crowdfund. Maybe Fernando went to a seminar and they said, branding, marketing, energy, comic book. Fernando's like, yeah, that's
It's quite possible. It makes sense to me.
You know what he could do? Wanted to do this? No, this is a wild prediction, and it's probably not going to happen.
What's that?
All right, so you gentlemen know that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year, right?
allegedly.
Yes.
Axl Rose,
Alleged.
the allegedly, that's true. Et allegedly, Axl Rose is notoriously and famously known for being in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and he played the DJ Tommy the
Yeah.
Nightmare Smith. Did a great job at it. One of the best DJ hosting jobs of any celebrity ever in Grand Theft Auto. Wamsith comes back in San Andreas, or not San Andreas, but in GTA 6 Vice City as Tommy the Nightmare Smith.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, you really want to get out there and brand yourself and market it yourself. I mean, you're going to get out there to
Wait,
everybody. You're going to get out there, the old Zoomers,
that
millennials, whatever
reminds me,
else there
we're
is.
forgetting the elephant in the room. What was the
Yeah.
craziest thing he's done in the last 20 years? It was on that Looney Tunes cartoon.
Rock the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock the Rock.
Hey, that had the best vocals of Axl in
Sure
the
did.
last 7, 8
It
years.
really did. Oh, all right. Maybe it's just the man's insane and he does what he wants, and decided he wanted to make a comic book about him. So weird. I don't
All right. Liars, you got anything else you want to add to this, brother?
I do not.
ET, do you have anything else you want to add
know.
to
Just that
this?
I'm baffled, and I really think the art is very good, but it's an amateur, so very odd situation all around.
All right, buddy. It was good having you back on the show. Liars, it's that time. Take us out, brother. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Look for us on YouTube. That's our main channel. Hit like and subscribe and leave a comment. Me and Wasted will get back to you. And look for us on Rumble. We're trying to make a big presence there. Thanks to everybody listening over there. And of course, on Spotify, and from Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen.
Stop!